Yeah, but they can exchange.
Yeah, I can count just as many kids, guys this year have been dress coded for wearing cutoffs that they buy in any store as girls.
Also, I know that I, as a female, shop in plenty of stores where you can buy a t-shirt like this that covers everything it needs to. You can buy pants that are long enough, shorts that are long enough. Like as Kyle mentioned, Bermuda shorts. There's plenty of opportunity. Forever 21, for example, sells shirts for $5. Anyone can purchase a $5 t-shirt that covers anything you need.
Yeah,
well, if the school wants to pay for it, I'm more than willing to.
Yeah, no girl is going into a store and they're like, oh no, I can't find what, I'm going to get dress coded if I buy this. Like, there's plenty of options. There are plenty of options. No girl's going into a store and they're like, well, I can't shop at this store, there's nothing here for me.
Gabe, this brings up the idea, this is their money and they should be able to spend their money how they want to.
Exactly.
So if the school is going to say, I want you to wear this, they better be willing to pay for it.
Well, if I paid for a gun, why can't I bring it to school?
That is not part of our debate at all. We are not debating the strictness of the dress code, which is what you bring our debate. We are debating the necessity of a dress code, not how strict it needs to be. As in the Columbine shooting, a dress code could have prevented
so could metal detectors, Troy. So could metal detectors.
We're not debating.
You should be able to wear a trench coat to school.
Yeah.
You should be.
If somebody's going to bring a gun into the school, they do not care about a dress code. That would do absolutely nothing to prevent somebody bringing a gun.
It still puts many people
guns on me? Where can I hide guns? No, not in this pocket. Not in this one.
In your backpack.
Really? Yeah.
20 seconds.
Anything else?
All right, conclusion. Pro, you're up next.
Get him, Josh. Walk around the room.
Let's maintain composure, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
it's a workplace.
I want everybody to take a deep breath. All right. The argument that's been made for the con side is an ultimatum. It's a dress code. What I just heard is a dress code is misogynistic. That's what I heard. Because the connection there is it's misogynistic because it disproportionately affects women, which therefore equals misogyny. And the thing is, if you look at any law, if, let's say the United States government were to look at their laws and be like, let's see which group of people it affects the most. Let's look at, like, for instance, like murder laws or gun laws or whatever in the city. Let's say specifically in cities, if the government were to look at it and be like, you know what, black people commit more murders on per person than white people do, then shouldn't that ring a bell in comparison to this dress code issue? That because of that, you know, we can't have murder and gun laws. We can't have stricter controls because it could be racist, because it could be affecting black people more, or it could be affecting Native Americans more. It could be affecting. See, laws are put into place as universal ultimatums to try to balance the playing field, so that one person can't come to school wearing. I don't really want to describe because it's kind of gross sometimes. Just one person can come to school kind of really quite offensive.
Excuse the interruption. At this time, all sophomores and juniors who are going to the high honor roll luncheon should report to the main lobby now. Again, sophomores and juniors who are going to the high honor roll luncheon, report to the main lobby now. Thank you.
Keep going. Keep going.
Well,
keep going.
All right. So,
guys, you can. I called the main office. Just keep going.
So, is a dress code really worth? Is fighting the dress code really worth the time and effort when you can just follow a basic principle of schooling? Like, so what the other side is essentially saying is that they wouldn't follow a dress code because, in their self-righteousness, they seem to acquiesce to disorder. I ask again, like, is it really worth it? Like, is it a battle really worth fighting? There's kind of bigger fish to fry than what Mom, I don't think I can wear this today. Can I wear something else? Sure, honey. I can get you. A loving parent would buy you the clothes you need to wear to go to school and be successful without having to fear being dress coded. So I simply ask, like, what's the right and moral thing to do? because a dress code in reality is kind of based not wholly on business and like professionalism, but it's also a moral thing. Like it comes down to what you really believe and how you really should present yourself to the world. And it's not like it promotes misogyny, which would mean the society's permeated with misogyny, which is kind of a gross accusation to make about everyone who believes in the dress code is misogynistic, which if that's where society's headed, then you really live in a dark place.
Okay, good. Those of you that need to go, you can go. We're gonna, if you could quietly go, we'll get the other people to do their thing.
Thanks, Mr. Nelson.
Okay, just make sure you close the door. All right, go ahead, Maddie, anytime you're ready.
All right, so it's very apparent that everyone in here has different opinions about dress code. And as Josh said, you can dress yourself based upon your morals. But then there's a gray area because everybody has different morals. Nobody has the exact same standards as someone else when it comes to how they dress. And there was a lot of talk about murder and guns and stuff, and murder affects other people. The dress code really doesn't. Dress code does not add to misogyny in society. It adds to misogyny in society and not just in school. And looking at the present circumstances in the majority of public schools, it is clear that some students are favored in regards to the dress code. Students who are more developed constantly are targeted for wearing the same articles of clothing that less developed students are able to wear without punishment. Whether appropriate or not, the singling out of certain students for something out of their control works against the inclusive climate that many schools are working hard to achieve. The dress code was originally written to be a set of guidelines, not a set of laws for students to follow in selecting what they wear to school. However, today it's being treated as a strict set of rules. Along with the increasingly strict dress codes, the section of the code pertaining to females is weighted far heavier than pertaining to males. The male's dress code pretty much says, don't wear shirts that have drugs, beer, stuff like that. Where females, there's shirt widths, the length of your shorts, certain shoes, like there's so many more dress codes for males, for females, for like low-cut shirts and stuff. And there's a large discrepancy in the number of guidelines that each gender is required to follow. It's unfair that girls have to sacrifice their education to go home and change, when boys are less likely to be subjected to do this. Because you guys are told, oh, just turn your shirt inside out, or put it on backwards, then nobody will see it. You can still see it. Girls are told, go put on a big shirt or go home. If students are going to be reprimanded for their clothing choices, what is and is not allowed needs to be clearly communicated, and the restrictions need to be consistent for all students and in no way subjective.
2 minutes 12 seconds. Okay.